What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips, where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support I'm getting on this channel. Thank you. We're going up. We're catching up to the big channel, man. For those of you that don't know what the big channel is, it's Gunners Collective TV. Make sure you tap in where I drop content most daily. And it's fire. Just like this channel. So anyways, right? Let's get straight to it. Let's not procrastinate, add preservatives, or any of that old funny shit, right? I don't like sugar anyway. So let's get straight to it. Danny Masterson is hot. Hotter than fish grease, right? And a lot of people are throwing a lot of rumors out there, and there's a lot of content being made, right? But it seems like everybody is trying to wiggle around the word, right? Everyone's trying to wiggle around what could be behind him making these moves, getting these power moves made in shower shoes that he's so conveniently getting. You know, I know when I was incarcerated, I never got no love. No love, no love, nothing. Zero, zilch. I was lucky if I got a letter from a fat girl, right? I didn't get nothing coming because I guess I was broke. When you're broker as a joker and you don't have too much money, you're just another one. You're just a number, homie. They're getting paid off the government for you. So whatever they got coming, you ain't getting a cut of that. They ain't breaking bread like Jesus said. You have nothing coming. You're just another number, and you're going to work or hustle for everything that you get. But when there are people, and believe there's several people that are multimillionaires incarcerated for one reason or another, most of them guys you're going to find in the feds, right? They're going to be in the federal system. Anybody with money usually gets caught up in a federal crime, but every once in a while you'll have guys that are doing state time in California prisons that have a lot of money. You know, I had a lot of native homeboys, and I'll just take, for instance, the natives that were part of a tribe that would get money collectively every month. And of course, the way that money works is it's distributed out to the certain families of the tribes or whatever, however it goes. But they'd all get their cut. Now, from what I heard, once they're incarcerated, they're no longer eligible, but guys know how to wiggle, and so that their family gets their cut. And there was a lot of guys in there that were native that I fucked with or I functioned with that were cool with me, that had an extensive amount of dividends, increments, cuz they had a lot of money, right? And money didn't change the way they thought. Money didn't change. It made things a little bit more comfortable. I mean, they got higher than most, and they were kicking back on them yards. But as far as that money being able to manipulate the administration and manipulate what yard they were actually at, no, zero, zilch. That never happened, right? So now let's take Danny Masterson, for instance. He has a lot of money, okay? A lot of people are under the assumption that he has more money than he really has. You know, trials cost a lot of money. Paying people off costs a lot of money. You know, just because you acted for a certain amount of time doesn't mean you are just a tremendous millionaire. Now, I understand he comes from money. He wasn't just born into this. He's been had this, right? Or maybe he was born into this. But it's generational. Okay, generational wealth is always more than just wealth you've earned. I've noticed a lot of people that don't come from generational wealth don't act as crazy with the money that they get. They understand, you know, a hard earns wages for a day working hard, you know. But when people come from money, they act outlandish. They act a little bit out of the box because they don't know what it is to really work hard, to really have to toil in the soil for what you got. And Danny Masterson strikes me as one of those people coming from wealth, coming from a family that's already had money, coming from a religion that is based upon money, where the guys that are members, the women and men, even children, have money. Okay? Now, the word that everyone's been trying to get around here on YouTube, the content creators, is Scientology. The Scientologists, right? So I had to sit back, of course, crack a few books, hit Google one time for my mind, and invest my time into really researching what this religion, or what people like to call an occult, is really about. Okay, and I see that it is made up of a lot of Hollywood executives, a lot of people, government officials, a lot of people with power. Money equates to power in life, in social circles. And the social circles that most Scientologists are now, there are some that don't come from money. Don't get it twisted. You are able, with open arms, they embrace those who want to be part of that situation. But for the most part, 99% of the people that are involved in this religion come from money. Okay, and not just new money, but old money. So again, just like Danny Masterson is generational. His parents and his grandparents before him studied this religion. Now, I don't know how long it's been around, to tell you the truth, but I know it's one of the religions that is pretty new. Okay, pretty new, maybe a few decades, if that. And I know they have a lot of different beliefs than your traditional religions. And I've always been the one to each their own. If that's what you want to worship, if that's what you want to study, if that's what you want to be a part of, as long as it directs you into great things in life and you feel good about yourself, who am I to shit on your fucking parade? Who am I to rain on it, right? I can't. I can't shit on your shingle, but one thing I can tell you for sure is what you do is not always what I do. And I don't have to agree. I could agree to disagree, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person or I'm a bad person. So anyways, if Danny Masterson wanted to be part of Scientology, does that make him a bad person? Does that make any of them bad? No. Okay? Where I think a lot of people get it twisted is they automatically believe that this group has a lot of influences in a lot of places, in a lot of, back alleys. And I'm sure they do. Money will bring you that influence, okay? Money can buy anything, pretty much. Money can buy souls. Money can buy people. It's always been like that, and it always will be, right? So who is really behind the scenes helping Danny Masterson make these moves that I've seen? And I've been locked up a lot of times in my life for a great amount of time, 19 years total in my life. 45 years I've done incarcerated, all the way from a young child in the California Youth Authority to being on 4 yards in the California prison system and other states. So I say to myself, how is this guy able to facilitate these moves that not a lot of others can? Is it blind luck? Is it all a setup? Is there someone behind the scenes pulling the strings and influencing people to look out for this guy's best interests? Now, from everything I've seen, read, and heard, it seemed like when Danny Masterson was convicted of these crimes and got this R on his jacket, these rapes of these women, a lot of people took a step back from him, including his religion. There's certain criteria you have to meet and certain things you can and cannot do. And in order to save face, they decided to distance themselves from him, never actually admitting his guilt or saying he was guilty or a bad person, but they distanced themselves because they didn't want his drama to become their drama, and then it would have to be trauma, and they didn't want none of that. So they put out, they set a precedent, and they put out some type of dictation saying, we do not think he is guilty, but we don't want anything to do with him anymore. So he is ostracized from the church. Now, it takes a lot to do that. I know I'm a Catholic, a devout Catholic man, and in Catholicism, when you're a Catholic, there are certain things you can and cannot do. And at the end of the day, the church means more than just any old people, even though it's the people that make up the church, right? I've never understood that. I thought each person is a temple of their own, and whatever faith that they believe in, they have their own personal relationship with their higher power, their entity, or their God, right? But I'm not trying to get into religion here. I'm just saying there's a lot of people out there saying that the Scientologists are pulling the strings and that they have a lot of power, money, and influence. And they're the reason why Danny Masterson has been able to facilitate these moves. Basically getting moved from Corcoran Prison to CMC East, right? Yes, he is in CMC East. He is not in the fire camp, the 1 yard. There's no way anyone with the R in his jacket could go to these yards. He is on a 4/3 SNY yard, which is a protective custody yard, with his own key to open up and close his door. He's not in dorm living. He's in cell living. Now, this prison, like I said in my earlier video, has been labeled or was one of the very first protective custodies prisons in the state of California. So it has a long history. A lot of people assume when they think about CMC, they get CMC East and CMC West mixed up. There are 2 yards, man. He is on CMC East, which, yes, is the protective custody yard. And of course, he's going to be protected custody because of the R on his jacket. But not only that, because I'm sure he has asked for some type of help. But who is really behind helping him to get to these yards? They don't just move you. It's not just, boom, you bump your head and they transfer you. There's a lot of paperwork and a lot of things that go behind a typical transfer. I said in my earlier video, man, there's hardship transfers. There's transfers for medical reasons. There's transfers for safety and security reasons. He was already on a sensitive needs yard in Corcoran. He was already there. Now, somebody brought up a good what you would call, I guess, conspiracy theory, which I actually might agree, man. So I'm going to have to put it out there as well, because I watched his video. He's a content creator. If you haven't tapped into Dubs, make sure you tap into the Dubs channel. I still watch it all the time. And he brought up a good point, something that not a lot of people are talking about. So I'm going to give you some knowledge you can't get in college right here, right? Whether Scientology is behind this, and let's put it out there, since a lot of people there's a lot of people scared to speak on these individuals. I don't really know too much about them other than what I read. I've never took the time to actually invest myself into that religion. So I won't speak ill upon them, but I know according to the people that I've talked to and what I've read, there's a lot of people that think there's a lot going on behind the scenes that ain't cool, ain't good, right? Now, whether these people are using their influence, their power, or whatever they have, their money to help Danny Masterson, I could see that being the case. And here's the reason being. You want to get into conspiracy theories? Let's do it, right? I don't really like it, but in this case, we might have to. He knows a lot. Danny Masterson, I'm sure, knows a lot. And like that other chick, man, Leah Remini, I think that's her name, Remini, is now against the church she once followed, against Scientology, and she is now speaking out against them and talking about all the different things that they put their members through, or all the secrets that they have behind the scenes. Every church has secrets. Whether it's Catholic, Christian, Buddha, Muslim, whatever religion you believe in, if it's of this world, it's in this world. There's always going to be secrets, things that go on behind the scenes that the church would rather not have out there publicly, because it brings a shameful image to the church and it makes the people and the members look bad. And that's what it's all about in this world. How we look. You ever notice people are out there chasing the bag, not really caring if the money can support their family, but they want to display all kinds of jewelry and nice cars. Now, meanwhile, their home is roach infested and falling down behind them, right? It's because it's an image. It's clout. That's what clout is, an image. Everyone's trying to uphold this image and look better than the next man, when deep down inside, it's all materialistic of the world shit. It's not real life. It's not pura, right? It's not 10-5 a key. It's butter, right? And butter melts. So everybody stays trying to do that. And in every religion, man, there's going to be those that have power or looked at as, more than, that don't want to ruin or tarnish their image. So there's no way they're going to let any person who decides not to be from that religion anymore basically dick them up, schmut them up, and make them look bad, defecate on their character, right? Because then that makes the whole church look bad, and then people will be like, whoa, I've heard a lot of bad things about them. I'm cool, right? And you're only as powerful as your people. You need soldiers in Christ. You need soldiers in what you do. That's just how it is. Every prison group, every gang always depends upon their manpower. You are nothing without your manpower, without your soldados. So anyways, the same thing goes for church. So Danny Masterson, being a powerful yet respected soldado within this group of Scientology, this religion, I'm sure he was behind the scenes on a lot of things and knows a lot of the dirt, a lot of the he said, she said, a lot of what was going on. He knows the rhythm of the night, right? Like a motherfucking a DeBarge song. But would this group really, as powerful as they are, use their influence? Do they have that type of influence to dictate and protect him? Some say it's true. Some say they are manipulating behind the scenes, and that there are people so far in the government or so high with status that they would be able to do these types of things. Now, I don't know this to be true. We can get to conspiracy theories and all that, but at the end of the day, I've never seen it happen before. This would be the first time I've seen an outside group able to influence one of the biggest groups ever in the California period, which is the CDC. Now, the CDC is its own entity. It's its own group, man. It's a very powerful, resourceful group. This prison system is comprised of a lot of ins and outs and dirty dealings behind the scenes to make money. At the end of the day, it's all about money. Okay, so if this big time religious group from Hollywood, or I know they're worldwide now, but based out of Hollywood where Danny Masterson was from, if they were able to pull strings, why wouldn't they to cover up what he may know? If a man feels he's at the end of his rope or he's left behind, his ship is sinking, he might just give up the ghost and tell all the dirty secrets, right? So I could see a group that's behind him that have told him, whispered in his ear, look here, bitch, I don't really want you to say my name. We're not going to really put but behind the scenes, we got you, right? Because this is crazy. Him being moved to these softer yards. Now, I do tally this up to not just outside influence and the puppets pulling the strings, but it also could be all the content that is being produced, not only here on YouTube, but on every different social media platform. This guy's name is in everybody's mouth. It's a saga. It's an ongoing soap opera. It's fucking General Hospital. Everybody wants to see what's going to happen to this guy. But I think more so we want to see him get in a wreck. I myself, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you guys and lie. I can't wait till he gets slapped in his whole mascara. Why? Not because of the R on his jacket and what he's done, just because I don't like the way his face looks. How about that? There's a lot of people that want to see the same thing happen to me, right? That's the world we live in. I know it's a despicable thing to say, but it's real, okay? I'm in it for the drama just as much as anyone else is. I just happen to be a content creator with a voice that could speak upon it. And I don't sugarcoat shit, so I don't hide nothing, man. I'm going to keep it absolutely real. Do I think that there is a group behind him or somebody behind him pulling these strings to get him transferred? I do. I do, absolutely. Whether it be the Scientology, religious Scientologists, or just some powerful friends in powerful places, there is somebody that was able to manipulate this and get at these people in order to transfer them. It just doesn't happen. Now, I haven't looked into his case factors. I don't know. I got a hold of the homeboy. He said, damn, that fool moved quick. There's even people that believe, and I'm going to get to it like Dub said, man, that he never even left Corcoran. Now, if you guys recall, I did a video called the PHU, the Protective Housing Unit, which there is only one in the state of California, and it is located right there in a facility in Corcoran Prison, Old Corcoran. And there's a lot of clandestine shit that goes on in that particular unit. Okay, in Corcoran, you have the yards, you have the Security Housing Unit, which is the SHU, which is one of the older SHUs. And then, of course, you have the PHU, which is the Protective Housing Unit, which is one side of a building it's in 4A. Now, no one truly knows who's all there. We know some of the people who have been there in the past, like Charles Manson, Rodney Alcala, the dating game killer, Sirhan, and several others, you know, that have really notorious cases that if they went to any yard, it would be a safety and security risk, not only for them, but for that yard because they are trophies. When you're a trophy in the California prison system, it doesn't matter how many officers are escorting you. If they want you, they're going to go right through them to get to you, okay? And if they feel that your case factors and everything that you've done, and because the media has put so much spin on it, warrants them placing you in this protective housing unit, there are a lot of people placed there. But a lot of the officers that work at Corcoran are not allowed to go into that unit. Only certain officers, and they know who they are allowed to go in that unit. They have a whole different separate count time from the regular facility. I mean, it is so high security as like the prison Fort Knox. No one truly knows what's in there, but we know it's a lot, right? Was Danny Masterson moved to the PHU overnight and then they put out there on the CDC registry that he has moved to CMC East? I've seen crazier things, you know, as the drama unfolds, as the world turns, right? This could be a thing. This is what Dubs mentioned, and it's not a conspiracy theory as much as people would like to believe. There's actually ringing truth to it, right? Because I could see them doing that. Now, I got a hold of who I got a hold of this morning and was like, is it true? Did he move to CMC? Give me the rundown. What's going on? And he was like, bro, I've never seen nothing like it. It was an overnight thing. He was just gone. Now, I heard he was transferred over the weekend. Again, having done time in prison, I have never seen transfers take place on the weekend. I could see Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but on a Saturday or Sunday, come on, bro. The only thing we're supposed to be doing on Saturday is eating buche or watching Volkanovski get knocked out by the Spaniard guy. There was nothing else supposed to be happening, but all of a sudden they decided that if for no other reason, they were going to put this guy, Danny Masterson, in a van and transfer him all the way to San Luis Obispo, CMC East. Seems kind of fishy. Seems like there's some fucking claws behind the scenes pulling strings. It just never happens, but it happened. So we can't say it never does because it did. Is there a chance that he is sitting right there in the PHU, that they moved him to the PHU and put this online so people think he's at a different facility? I guess the only way we'll find out is if we talk to someone who was actually in CMC East doing time with him on the yard. That's when we'll actually know. But it's feasible. It's not crazy to think that they placed him in this PHU without even the officers knowing and did this so that way he could be safe. You know, safety and security comes first, I guess. Now, is this Scientologist group behind having him transferred? I'm not going to say it's them per se because I don't know and I don't want to smut shit up, right? Or be wrong. But there is definitely something fishy here. There's definitely somebody behind the scenes getting him to where he needs to be or where they think he needs to be. Now, again, like I said in my earlier video, I don't believe CMC East is the answer. I believe if he's going to get touched, he's going to get touched no matter where he goes. You know what I mean? Whether they pinch him on the butt, you know what I'm saying, grab his little webbles or whatever they do, he's getting touched, right? Squat and cough, right? They're going to do their thing. Is it a little bit more safer? I guess any facility where guys just want to program and go home and they're hiding from their own bullshit is going to be easier than most. But at the end of the day, man, it doesn't mean he wouldn't get touched by somebody, okay? So anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know. Do you think this conspiracy is true? He could be in the PHU and they're just throwing this out there that he was moved? Or do you believe that there's this big group Scientology behind helping him to get to the places only because they're trying to preserve their good name? Because if they distance themselves from him, they should wash their hands of him. Fuck what he's going through, right? But again, if you got a lot of skeletons in your closet, this ain't an Eminem song. You're not cleaning out your closet. You want to keep what's in there, right? Maybe, just maybe, there's someone that has decided, man, hey, I know someone that knows someone and we can facilitate transfers to get him taken care of and comfortable so as he could fucking survive into his appeal, and then they'll put some real money behind it. I believe if this fucking group or these people who are behind getting him transferred had that much juice and that much power, why would he be convicted in the first place? Now, I know, according to what I read, it seemed like a cover-up. That's what these women that testified are saying, that they actually went to the church, man, and they had to get put through classes of ethics and all kinds of things. Basically, they got made the victim. Unfortunate. Do I think, someone got me mixed up yesterday because I did a video talking about his innocence. Do I think he's innocent? Hell to the no. I don't think he's innocent. I'm just saying there is a lot of people that think so, and I could understand them thinking that because these cases are old. But guess what, man? It doesn't matter if it's old or new. Sometimes the old affects the new. And now he's got new time because of old shit. And it just be like that sometimes, man. Just because, oh man, that rape was 30 years ago or 25 years ago, it don't count no more. No, it always counts. Sometimes you are what you is. And that's what it is, kids. So anyways, with that being said, let me know what you think. Do you truly believe that the Scientologist group is behind helping him with these transfers? Is it someone else? Is it just your basic safety and security concern? Or do you think he even really landed in CMC East? Or is he right there chilling out in the PHU with a whole bunch of other maniacos? Just let me know. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. Damn, this is some crazy shit, huh? Gunner, why are you doing so many videos on this guy? Because first of all, it's getting me a gang of views, and I appreciate that coming from the gente. I'm trying to build this channel up, so I got to do what I does, cuz. Second of all, isn't it very exciting and intriguing? And third of all, can we wait till we get socked up? None of us can, huh? It's crazy. We're cold people. But that's just the world that we live in. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and bring you the best possible news I can concerning this individual and tell you other stories. Best believe this week I got a whole lot of more for you concerning Danny Masterson and several other stories, man. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Bang, bang.